We are the old people, we are the new people, we are the same people, younger than before, younger than before, younger than before. We are the same people, younger than before. We are the old people, we are the new people, we are the same people, stronger than before, stronger than before, stronger than before. We are the same people, stronger than before. We are the old people, we are the new people, we are the same people, wiser than before, wiser than before, wiser than before. We are the same people, wiser than before. We are the old people, we are the new people, we are the same people, younger than before, younger than before, younger than before. We are the same people, younger than before. We are the old people, we are the new people, we are the same people, stronger than before, stronger than before, stronger than before. We are the same people, stronger than before. We are the old people, we are the new people, we are the same people, wiser than before, wiser than before, wiser than before. We are the same people, wiser than before. We are the old people, we are the new people, we are the same people, younger than before, younger than before, younger than before. We are the same people, younger than before. We are the old people, we are the new people, we are the same people, stronger than before, stronger than before, stronger than before. We are the same people, stronger than before. We are the old people, we are the new people, we are the same people, wiser than before, wiser than before, wiser than before. We are the same people, wiser than before.
The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Aye, 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 oh, aye, oh, aye, oh, aye, 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 oh, aye, oh, aye, oh, aye, oh. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Aye, 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 oh, aye, oh, aye, oh, aye,
Guess I need to unmute my mic, don't I, before it's going to work. Well, I hope everyone is doing well. And, alright, welcome to Open Pagan Church on Sunday morning. Well, Sunday morning here in the States. Be afternoon in some places and evening in others and tomorrow in other places. And I don't know of any place where it's yesterday. Although, who knows, right? Right. As it goes, we are archived in multiple different places. If you're watching on YouTube, click subscribe, click like, give us your opinion. Good Lord Almighty, Mother and Goddess, Mother, God, and Goddess. Anyway, our topic is Sabbath preparation. Now you'll notice it's kind of a semantics term. Camille and I were bantering back and forth about the word Sabbath with a TH or Sabbats with a TS. So I got curious this morning and I Googled it. I did. You find it both ways. Sabbath is what spell check shows it to be and what many of your other languages show it. However, a lot of the pagan sites call it Sabbats with a T. And of course, kind of hard for me to say Sabbats and Sabbath. Can't get my tongue wrapped around it. But anyway, Sabbath preparation. Well, if you're pagan, or if you follow any of the pagan philosophies, I hope you know what a Sabbath is. Even if you were raised in Christian philosophies, you've heard the term beat into your head, Sunday is a Sabbath. Well, in pagan philosophy, not so much. However, if we get too deep into Sabbath celebration, then we get into the different paths, right? Here in Open Pagan Church, we try to keep things universally pagan and universally spiritual to teach those the basic core ideas of pagan ideology as presumed and lived by yours truly. And it doesn't mean I'm always right. It means I'm always full of ideas. Some would say, well, Don, Pegasus, you're full of something. We don't know about ideas, but there you go. But the preparation, this time of year for me, and we are in September 2018 here in North Texas. So if you're watching the pre-recorded broadcast later and it's not actually September, we're coming up for October. Of course, it's a month away, a month and some. But Samhain, October 31st, October 28th through November 1st, actually, is, as a shaman, is one of my most popular holidays, or Sabbaths, as you want to put it. It's one of the few religious requested holidays that I ask for off at work, that and Yule. And I'm not going to get into what Samhain means to the shaman and what Yule means to the shaman and all of that. But what is your Sabbath preparation? And Facebook is still not auto-scrolling. So if you're not seeing what people are seeing, make sure you're scrolling down because, well, Facebook is on crack and it's not going to auto scroll for you. Right, we have quite the watching this morning. Um, Dave says you're looking clean cut today. Well, no, not really. I got the ponytail. Hey, here we go. I can make my own what do they call it? That didn't work. Anyway, um, looking clean cut this morning. No, we're going to a movie right after church, so figured I'd get dressed. Not dressed up, but dressed. Um, right. How do you prepare for your Sabbath? I can tell you that for myself, I like to reread, depending on the Sabbath, I like to reread the Grove of the Celtic Shaman tradition, each of the high Sabbaths. I like to refresh myself with the purpose and goals of my particular path. In preparation for Sabbath, if I am calling circle, part of my preparation is cutting the grass in circle if it's outside, cleaning up circle. If circle has been real muddy because of the rain, and at certain times of the year where we have a lot of leaves and grass cuttings and such as that, I'll take that and spread it around in circle so that it's not as muddy, right? In preparing circle, cutting grass, filling tiki torches, building the fire, getting things done, conducting people that we need to do this and that and the other thing, getting ready for feast and what have you. That's a part of my preparation because it's getting me in the mindset. Each Sunday, when I do Open Pagan Church, I spend about 45 minutes in preparation to get my mindset right for the topic of church. There are those times, I haven't done it in a while, but there are those times I'll be driving along in traffic and an idea hit my head and ping my antenna, and I'll pop up and do a recording and upload it. I haven't actually done any live streaming while driving down the road. Obvious reasons. I can't read the text. But preparation for Sabbath is important. If I have found before, and I've had to do it, you get straight off of work, you drive in traffic, and you go immediately to location and start performing Sabbath with no preparation, start calling circle. Can you do it? Absolutely. Is it doable? Of course. Are you pure of mind and heart? I don't think so. At least I'm not. I know that in Sabbath preparation, I like to have a few minutes to breathe, relax, talk to the people, listen to the people, listen to what's in their minds and in their hearts and what's going on. That does help with Sabbath preparation. So again, for newcomers to the pagan philosophy, to the pagan way of life, Sabbath doesn't require a whole lot of preparation. It doesn't require you to meditate a certain amount of time before. It doesn't require you to do or not do anything. There are no laws in getting ready for Sabbath. As a pagan, Your different rules and regulations, and I guess you could say laws or bylaws, are linked to whatever tradition you eventually follow or not. If you decide you want to follow a particular tradition, then your leaders of that tradition will teach you their way. Now, just because they're teaching you their way doesn't always mean it's going to remain your way. Over the years, we've had numerous amounts of people come through our circle. And when we had an open Sabbath, I always call circle as a pagan minister. If I was going to call circle as a shaman master, or at the time a shaman high priest, I would announce that during pre-ritual meeting. And anybody that's ever attended any of our circles know that during feast we would have a pre-ritual meeting. That was a part of Sabbath preparation. This way, newcomers and visitors and what have you, and those that had absolutely no idea about a pagan circle, they were just curious and wanted to sit in. We explained to them what the Sabbath was about, the different traditions that followed the Sabbath. We explained to them what we were going to do and how we were going to step into circle, doing the cleansing march, if you will. And we would tell them straight up, if you don't want to march circle with us, that's fine, you don't have to. If you want to go ahead and bring your chairs in and sit them on the outside ring, we had a 3-ring circle, not a 3-ring circus. I know where some of you are going to go with that. But we had a 3-ring circle. The outer ring was for visitors and those to come and go as they like. People come up on property and wanted to sit in and listen. They could take a chair and sit on the outer circle and come and go as they please, because the circle was closed on the inner ring, sometimes the second ring. If we had practitioners that wanted to be a part of the energy, but didn't want to stand up or, didn't want to do any of the rising of the energy, that's what the second circle was for. The second circle was typically closed with the inner circle. This is all a part of the discussion of your particular circle, your particular path or belief system. To me, no, you don't have to prepare. But it gets you in the right mindset. It gets you in the right heart chakra, if you will. It gets you in the right mood. It gets you focused on maybe what you're going to say. Now, if you're doing a ceremony, and a ceremony is written, you've studied it, you've rehearsed it, you've memorized it, you know how to go step by step by step. And having been really good friends with several of the leaders of the Alexandrian tradition in the past, all of their circles were specifically scripted and ceremonialized to perform particular functions at particular times, say and do certain things at certain times. I get it. I stood in a couple of their circles. We're very honored to do so. The energy was wonderful. I have stood in several rituals. Now, ritual is where you have a base philosophy of the way you do things. Some things are repeated. Some things are by the fly seat of your pants, and they'll change each ritual depending on what you're doing. A little semantics there. Some might disagree with my definition of a ceremony or a circle. That's fine. It's up to you. But in that preparation, just like when Christians prepare to go to church, a part of their morning ritual is to get up, get dressed. Some get dressed to the nth degree. I'm talking coat, tie, vest, slacks, polished shoes, whatever the ladies may put on their Sunday best, and all of their makeup and war paint. Makeup. Hair's all done up, looking pretty, and they got their little hat on, or not. But each religion, the Muslim preparation is very interesting. I've seen some of the Muslim preparations for their prayer time and Sabbath. Uh, some of the some of the stuff that they go through is wickedly awesome. It's very peaceful, good energy. It feels good. Um, the Jewish temples, the Jewish synagogues, their preparation. I've never actually been allowed into a Jewish temple during Sabbath, but I've been allowed to stand at the door and listen. The energy is awesome, wicked. But what do you do? What are some of your preparations, if you will, to get ready for circle, to get ready for Sabbath? Do you meditate beforehand? Do you partake of ritual wine prior? Um, do you vape? No, kidding. I vape. That was one of the things that used to blow people's mind in the circles that I would call. Granted, we were talking about it the other night, it's been 10 years since I've actually called a circle. I mean, we did go to a Samhain down in Liberty some years ago, but it's been 10 years since I have called a circle on my property and my circle where I ran the circle. I miss it. I loved it. It was a blast. But some of the things, people didn't understand as part of our preparation during the call of circle and during the march of circle. When we did the march, the blessings of the circle, there was a butt can by the entrance of circle. I did not allow people to smoke. Of course, back then, vape wasn't a thing. I didn't allow people to smoke during the march. We hummed, we chanted, we did 3 clockwise turns around circle, blessing circle for the cleanliness, cleaning, and pure of heart. We would filter into circle in our specific particular places. If the caller of the circle wasn't me, then the caller of the circle would direct what people would be where and how the circle would be balanced or leveled. Me, in circle prep, I like the circle to be relatively balanced. And I mean balanced by people separated out enough so that during the calling of circle, if there was only 10 or 15 people, we didn't have this great big gaping hole over here in the southeast or southwest side because everybody wanted to be over on the north where the energy was. If we had 50, 75, or 100 people, which we did a lot, sometimes we ended up extending the call to the second circle because the inner circle was only big enough for about 50 people, 60, I think, if I remember right. So that's a part of that preparation. The circle march, the cleansing of the circle, the getting in the right mindset, getting in the right heart chakra, the right heart mode for Sabbath. And we didn't allow smoking until circle was called. From the time you walked into circle until we were done calling circle, casting it up, you didn't smoke, which is something we did. Let's read what people are posting. Robert says sometimes he starts a month early. Absolutely. Robert being a smartass. Can we smoke a peace pipe? Depending upon the circle and depending on the style of circle. Sometimes we didn't actually cast up circle. Put that in your peace pipe and smoke it. But if someone had a peace pipe with legal tobacco in it, the peace pipe was offered up after the initial calling. The tobacco was offered up during the calling of the circle. And then those who partook of the peace pipe would circle close to fire, and we would partake of the peace pipe. Debbie says, me bad shaman, me no do nothing. She's right. Well, she drinks, not like a fish, but she doesn't smoke. When I go visit in Scotland, I used to be able to smoke enough for both of us. She could get all the secondhand smoke she needed while I was in the car. Now when I go visit family in Scotland, she can get all the secondhand vape she wants. Smells a lot better though. I've had people ask, now keep in mind, for those of you that don't know, I am a recovered, not recovering, I know you may disagree with that, but I am a recovered drug addict and alcoholic from 1982. And the reason I say recovered is I'm not the least bit worried about falling off the wagon. I can be around people that do drugs. It does nothing for me one way or the other. I can be around people that drink alcohol, beer, whiskey, wine, whatever. The wife likes to go to a pub on occasion and have a glass of wine or a whiskey, right? And right, you know, have a whiskey. I have no problem going to a pub. I don't want the drink anymore. I didn't like the way it made me feel. So people sometimes are a little hesitant to ask me if it's okay to bring a ritual wine into circle. Absolutely fine. Have no problem with that. Even if I'm calling circle, the ritual wine is perfectly fine. Generally, if I'm doing a full shamanic circle, I'll use water. Water is the pure blood of the mother. For some reason, somebody somewhere got the weird, freaky idea that pagans do drink blood at rituals. Oh, they say they drink the blood of the mother. I even had one ask me one time, do you really drink menstrual blood? No. Ew. Puke. Where the hell did you get that? Well, everybody says you drink the blood of the mother. Okay. Take a deep breath. Move into explaining to stupid mode. Okay. To pagans, the blood of the mother is pure, clear water. Water. You know, clear stuff humans have to have. And then they're like, oh, really? Where are you going to go with that? I just shake my head and go on. I love educating people. I love having philosophical conversations with people, religious ideology conversations. The occasional debate is even fun. Yeah, yeah. Jimmy says ignorance is bliss. Do 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 do. Anyway, something else that I do if I'm going to actually do a circle. Now, if I'm just celebrating a Sabbath, I'm going up to my altar. Um, no place to hold circle. Hadn't been invited to any circles, but I'm definitely going to pay homage to the Sabbath, to the Mother and the Father. If I'm going to actually be in a circle and I need to adjust my energy accordingly, I will start that preparation when I get up in the morning. And I will generally try to get up with the sunrise. I will look up what time sunrise is the day of Sabbath. And I will generally get up at or just before sunrise, have my coffee, eat my breakfast, fuel my body. I fuel my body so that I can give back to the Mother. Give back to the Mother that which she's given me. And that is all a part of preparation. I start cleaning. I like to do ritual. I like to cast my altar. After a good cleaning, if I'm going to cast my altar, I always do a good cleaning of it before. Clean off the dust, cobwebs if there is any. Wipe everything down. Make sure the candle holders are clean and clear. And while I'm doing that, what am I doing? I am preparing myself for the casting of Sabbath. So the preparation is in the doing. Now, some may think when I say in the doing is actually working. No. In the doing is meditation. Taking a moment to reflect on what the Sabbath is about. We are human beings. We are a very busy breed today. We don't have the village education of Sabbath teaching that our ancestors had. Our ancestors had the village wise people, either wise woman or wise man. They had the village wise people that taught the adults and the children and newcomers the ways of their village Sabbath. When they did them, how they did them, what times of the year they did them. And of course, the ancestors didn't have a paper calendar, did they? They damn sure didn't have a cell phone with an alarm to go off going, "Hey, stupid, hey, stupid, hey, stupid." You know? They worked with what they had. So in my preparation, I clean my altar, make sure everything is in its place for the particular Sabbath. Now here is the next explanation, if you will, or idea for your altar. I think I'm going to start using my vape to grab everyone's attention. You'll hear this in your ear and you'll go, "Wait, what?" No. Part of your preparation is setting up your altar. Okay? And in cleaning and setting up your altar, each Sabbath has different things on the altar, right? Yule is going to have wintry rebirth of the sun things on your altar. Samhain may have pictures of ancestors, right? May have pictures of family members long time since gone that you can light a candle to their passing. depending on your tradition or way of doing things, you may have a single candle on your altar. Um, high Sabbats. If you want to know what high Sabbats and low Sabbats are, you can look them up. I posted what the Sabbath names are in the introduction area. But a high Sabbath, I have nine. I have a tree that Camille found for me. It's a representation of the tree of life. There are 9 candle holders on it because I have a council of 9. And in that council of 9, the candles are arranged in a particular stack in accordance to where the council is. I never said shamanism wasn't confusing. And even then, not all shamans cast their altar the same as I do. Every shaman is a little different. I know in most Wiccan traditions, Gardnerian, Alexandrian, what's the third one? Poof, gone. Gardnerian, Alexandrian. There was one more. Damn it, I can't remember. Anyway. Each one of those traditions have a particular set way that they are taught to set up their altar. They are taught through repetition. This is the way tradition says to do it. You will do it this way as long as you are oathed in their coven, and that is the way you'll do it. Some covens are a little more lax, and they're like, okay, if you want an extra candle over here, that's fine. A color of a candle may not mean anything. For example, I can tell you on my altar, there are 2 color candles you'll never find on my altar. One of them's red and the other one's black. Most traditions, black is purity. Okay, got it. Cool. A lot of traditions, red is something else. In my tradition, black is you're going into the underworld to make a cast, generally of a death spell. Don't want that karma. Red is casting of blood. It's going in for battle. You're going to go in for battle. You're going to hope to be victorious, and you're going to hope to scatter more of their blood than the blood is scattered of your own. No. It used to, back in the day, when body could handle those battles, I had a red candle on my altar and lit that sucker every once in a while. So in my tradition, you're not going to see a black candle on my altar, and nowadays you're not even going to see a red one. I burn either white or clear tea lights. On occasion, I'll burn a green candle for prosperity, good luck, wisdom, the bringer of prosperity. But those are generally the great big tall hurricane candles, and once they're lit, they don't go out. Now see, here's another thing in my particular path, preparation for circle and preparation for Sabbath. I have to make a decision. Am I going to use a long burn candle, a quick burn candle, a tall hurricane candle? Because in my craft and in my tradition, once a candle is lit, unless it's a black or a red candle, once a candle is lit, it's never put out. If deity puts it out, like the wind blows it out, well, if it's on a split-second light, if it's not been lit for 10 seconds and then goes out, we can relight it, you know. Maybe I breathed out at the wrong time, blew the damn thing out myself. But if we've got a 10-second light and that flame's been burning for 10 seconds and then goes out, we leave it. because we figure deity's done. Poof, done. Okay. All right. I've only had that happen very few times in my Sabbath preparation, most especially at Circle. Now, at Circle, in Circle, we had containers that we would set our candle down in and then use one of the long torch lights to light them, because there were quite a few Sabbaths on property that the wind was blowing a gale. The men with the kilts and the ladies with the dresses. Anyway, I digress. Yeah. So, we are 30 minutes into the hour. We've done the basic understanding of preparing for Sabbath. I'd still like to see more post whatever social network you are watching our videos on. I'd like to see your post, if you can, within tradition, without breaking rules. I'd like to see a short paragraph of what your Sabbath preparation is. I think it would be interesting to read. I know that I like learning all Sabbaths or all paths out there. I love going to different Sabbath rituals. There's been, luckily, only one or two over the years, almost 20 years now. There's only been one or two that I went to that, one, I just simply got up and walked out. I'm like, this is more putting on a stage show and play acting than it was doing a ritual to the Sabbath at hand. People had been smoking heavily, partaking of drugs heavily, alcohol, prior to Circle, and quite a few of them were relatively lit when we went into Circle. And like I say, once they started casting up, I cashed out. All due respect, I bowed at the gate. I have to go. Thank you very much for the invite. Adios, mother sticker. Out the door I went. Well, the other one was, I think it was a Samhain ritual that Camille, myself, Kaya, and the moms went to an organization. I'm not going to use any names or anything, but up here in the North Dallas area. And they had kids up on stage, and they thought it would be interesting and good to call Anubis. They wanted to call Anubis on stage with kids on board. And I found that disheartening. Now, it's not because I have a problem with Anubis, don't get me wrong. There's a place, I've got quite a few friends that follow the Egyptian path. And I called a really good friend of mine after that Circle. We very calmly, very respectfully called our daughter down. You need to sit over here. But I called a friend of mine after that, and their Circle prep was a bit chaotic. And this lady has been studying Egyptian philosophies, rituals, ideologies the god, the deity structure of Egyptian pantheon for years. And I explained to her what they were doing, and I'm like, did I overreact? And she's like, oh, hell no. You didn't overreact. You don't call Anubis with kids in circle? I was like, well, okay. Everybody's got their own thing. But what do you do for circle preparation? Like I say, me, I like to clean. I like to organize. I like for my altar to be clean and organized. I may have a completely different altar set up from Sabbath to Sabbath or from ritual to ritual, depending on what we're doing. If the Sabbath's outside, I like to cut grass and clean, set everything up, fill the tiki torches with fluid, get things ready. I get my mindset ready. I get my heart chakra ready. And I get me ready to call Sabbath. Excuse me. But what do you do? Irregardless of your religion, whether you're pagan, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, right? Of course, Buddhist is not actually a religion, but a discipline, and so is Taoism. That's a actual discipline. That's not an actual religion because there's no God or deity structure in it. But I've known many that follow Taoism, Buddhism, and they have chants and formative rituals that they do depending on what time of year it is. And I'm slightly embarrassed. I don't remember what their times of the year are that they celebrate. But if there's any Buddhist or Taoist that watch our broadcast, I'd like to hear what your preparations are. I think it'd be interesting. Well, judging by my clock, we're 12 minutes past the hour. And as we know, Facebook doesn't auto scroll anymore, but I'm trying to keep an eye in case anybody's posting anything. So let's take a minute. Are there any questions, thoughts, ideas? Take just a minute. If nobody has anything, I think we've actually beat Sabbath preparation to death. I could probably go on and on about circle prep as a shaman, but that's not why Open Pagan Church is here. So, what say you? I say me vape. Well, okay. Circle. In closing, we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and draw to a close, and I'll give you some of your Sunday back. What are your preparations? Everybody has preparations. You go through preparations getting ready for work. When you're getting ready to go to work in the morning, you go through preparations, certain things that you do on a daily basis. You walk into work. What are your preparations at work? Me, coffee pot, log on, take a deep breath, and start reading emails. But everything we do, getting ready to go to the movies is a preparation. Getting ready to drive in traffic is a preparation. Getting the mindset ready not to go Harry, Carry, and BSC on people in the traffic area. Embrace the preparation when you're getting ready for Sabbath. Preparing for it, if you like to dress in robe, if you like to dress in garb, if you like to get dressed up in nothing to do your rituals, all of that is preparation. You're getting your mind set. Getting your mind set, getting your heart in the right place, getting everything in order to be able to go before deity and do what you do. Right or wrong, doing what you do is doing who you are. It's being who you are. Be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. Be true to who and what you are and the path that you follow. If you don't follow a particular path, that's perfectly fine. But embrace that. Learn as much from every path as you can. And if you do follow a particular path, learn as much about other paths as you can. Once again, we're live here every Sunday that we can on Open Pagan Church. We embrace your thoughts and your ideas and your opinions. We're always looking for fresh new topics. Send me a PM, an IM, a message, a post, something on the Open Pagan Church site with your ideas and thoughts about topics. Click like, click subscribe, and click the bell so you get notified of the fuzzy one sitting here chatting. Look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day. Enjoy your Sunday. And definitely enjoy upcoming Sabbaths.